Skip E Lowe, looking at Hollywood.
Hey, here's the latest dish. Can you keep it to yourself? Listen, Edie Williams is going on her way to the Cannes Film Festival by the way of tramp steamer. Isn't she a tramp steamer? Did you hear about Pia Isadora? She wants to do the life story of Betty Grable on screen. But Betty Grable's family is very upset. You see, Betty Grable is known for long, beautiful legs. Now, where is Pia going to come up with them, But if that doesn't work, she can do the Liza Minnelli story. You see, she sounds just like her. Keep it to yourself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Skip E Lowe Looks at Hollywood. Today's guest on the show is one of the original female members of the Fifth Dimension, beautiful Florence LaRue. The gentleman who brings magic to the stage, Mr. Black Magic himself, Mr. Billy Daniels. And today Skip has brought us a young talent he has discovered, young 15-year-old Miss Wendy Bernard. And now, here he is, man of the half hour, Skip E Lowe.
Florence LaRue.
Yes, Skip E Lowe.
Tell me something. What is new and exciting in Florence LaRue's life? Fifth Dimension. You've been doing something. Tell me, what have you been doing?
Well, we just returned from Europe, Skippy. We were in Switzerland and Austria. But it was a very interesting tour. It wasn't as easygoing as it may sound. We flew from Los Angeles to Switzerland for 2 days, flew back to Atlantic City for a weekend, then flew back to Austria for a week.
You are busy, aren't you?
So it was quite a schedule.
Hey, Billy Daniels is here. How are you? My favorite
Hello,
Black
Skip.
Magic singer. I love that song. People don't know you are the original Black Magic. Tell me something about Black Magic. Where did you get that song? How did all that happen?
Oh, a long time ago. I was in Club Harlem in Atlantic City. And it was on the piano.
You mean it's just there?
The sheet music. You know, in those days, I'm going back to 1942, 43. Studios used to mail out copies.
Right.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
Used to mail free copies, professional copies, all over the country of songs from their pictures.
But you know, you've made quite an impression because we have one of the original members of the Fifth Dimension was Billy Davis. And people were constantly, and still, call him Billy Daniels.
Oh, yeah. God
Billy
bless.
Davis. Now, what's happening with Billy Davis now?
Well, Billy is seeking his own career at this time.
Is he?
Right.
Fifth, you look so beautiful. Oh,
Well, thank
God, you're a
you.
gorgeous lady. You're hosting a lot of shows nowadays. Tell me
That's
about
right,
that.
That's right. Well, of course, I'm very busy with the Fifth Dimension schedule. We're performing in Las Vegas a lot and touring on the SS Norway cruise line, which we absolutely love. We'll be taking our 24th cruise
Hey, tell
in
me,
about a month or so.
That's new show business nowadays. Everybody
Yes.
is not the nightclubs now. They're doing ship cruises.
I love
you do that, Billy?
it.
I played to Norway twice.
Did you really?
Twice.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the little
Big ship.
Yes. That's
Tell
the
me
only kind I could go on.
Are you get seasick?
Yes, very
did?
much. We played another smaller ship, which happened to have run into the end of a hurricane. Not again. The SS Norway wants us exclusively. They had no battle with me.
Florence, tell me, how did you get into the Fifth Dimension?
Oh
You're
my goodness, that's quite a story. It's really a Cinderella story.
Is it?
I was raised in Pennsylvania, and I came to California because I wanted to be a movie star. Still do.
you
And,
you should. You're beautiful.
Thank you. I didn't know anyone in California, so I became what I laughingly call a professional beauty contest enterer. Now, not because I thought I was beautiful, mind you, but I wanted to enter the talent portion of the contest,
I see.
hoping to be discovered for the movies. As it happened, I won quite a few contests. I was Miss Valverde. I didn't even know where Valverde was, and Miss Coppertone, several other titles, and I did win an audition for a movie, but now that's another story. But anyway, in 1965, I was a runner-up in the Miss Bronze California, which is now Miss Black California, and I won the talent.
I see.
And this young man asked me to join a singing group he was putting together, and I said, no, look, I'm here to be in the movies. At the time, I was also finishing college, getting a teaching credential. I said, I had no time to be in groups. He said, well, just come to rehearsals when you can. And I did, and to make a long story short, that young man was Lamont McLemore, who was also a professional photographer, and I joined the group, and that sort of put an end to my acting career for a while. Now I'm, again, very anxiously and seriously beginning to be involved once again in acting.
Billy Daniels, looking back in your life, I'm going to ask you right away.
Do you have any regrets? Ah, come on.
No, I don't think so.
My goodness.
There's a few things I've done that I wouldn't do again, but I did a whole lot of things that I'd like to do again.
You've been in show
He
business?
seems like he was quite a rascal.
Yeah.
Still is, I think.
Yeah. Billy Daniels, how long you been in show business? You've been in
52 years.
52 years?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Now, you're originally from where, Bill?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville?
Yeah. Stowed away on a ship to get to New York City when I was 15. Raised in Harlem.
Raised in Harlem.
Yeah.
Goodness.
PS 139.
Tell me, what happened to Billy Daniels? How did that all start for Billy Daniels? What?
Not intentionally did I. I never thought I'd be a singer or in show business. I wanted to be a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Yeah, and I thought that being from Columbia, you know, going to school in New York would be much better than going to school in Florida. You know, I'd be up there where the money was. You know? And I had a grandmother, and of course I lived with her for a while. And she had a friend who put me in, got me a job in a place called Dickie Wells, a speakeasy
In Harlem?
in Harlem as a busboy. That
Yes.
was the days of the Cotton Club and all that. And I did go to school for a while, and then, of course, I started to sing in this little club. No money, I just sang for tips, you know, around
And
town.
probably lots of attention from the ladies.
And, yeah,
Jimmy Durante, was he around those days?
Jimmy Durante was around, but he was in the village. I was in Harlem.
You were in Harlem and he was
Yeah,
I see. Go ahead.
And, of course, somebody heard me and gave me a job singing in a little place. And then Dickie Wells and told me to go over to the Ubangi Club, and I worked over there with Leonard Harper Review, and the band there was Erskine Hawkins' band.
I see.
So he gave me a job as a singer with his band, and I started traveling with the band. And then after that, I left the band and went on my own. And
You're
became
really a
singer.
cabaret act, Bill.
Yeah.
Am I right, Florence?
Saloon
Isn't he
singer.
really,
I think
to the
so,
sense,
yeah.
Saloon
that's a
singer.
real saloon.
Saloon.
You are a real saloon entertainer. Like Sinatra. Basically, Sinatra was he a saloon, do you think, Billy?
Yes, yes. You know, by saloon, of course, you mean the old-time
People that drink.
the
and
drink,
they
where
wanna-
people drink.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Do you find a big transition, though, when you perform on television or film?
Big transfer. The biggest thing, the biggest difference you will find from saloon singing
right.
is stage work on the stage.
Right.
Because it's big. You got to
Yeah,
make it big.
stage.
Yeah.
Is that similar to, like, performing in Vegas now, that type, you say, where people like to drink and have a good time?
Yeah, but then you got to remember, in the old saloon days, there was no mics.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. It was cabaret. It's small. It was
More intimate.
Sang around the
intimate.
table.
Yeah,
yes, sure.
yeah. It's near the piano, with the piano. It was.
Right.
I did a lot of that too. You know, I started in Chicago. You know, Billy, I worked with you. You don't remember?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I worked with Billy Daniels at the
Where?
Elmwood Casino in Windsor.
Sure.
Yeah, you remember?
Yes, I remember you
Of
working
course,
with
you
me.
remember. I was
Sure,
the MC.
sure.
I was a comic.
Sure,
on
we
the show.
talked about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was a comic on the show with you. That's in a long time ago.
Yeah, you were a good-looking guy in those
I-
days. Huh?
I don't know what happened, Billy. Florence LaRue, tell me, the song that you made famous, what is that song of the Fifth Dimension? That wonderful song. It's
Well, there's
bells.
there
It's the
actually-
bells, is it?
One Less Bell.
One less
Right.
bell.
I love that song. I enjoy singing that song. We've been singing One Less Bell now for over 15 years, and I never tire
You
of
never.
it.
Billy Daniels does black
Never
magic in
tired.
every show, don't
Do
you,
you
Billy?
ever get tired
Every
of it?
show. Do you ever get tired of that?
I always do it. I have to do it.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
must.
Sure,
Same
yeah.
as you, right?
Yeah.
But you don't get tired of it, Billy, do you?
No, I keep changing it.
You change the.
Subtly, I change things. I'm doing it a little differently now.
Oh, that's great.
Really?
We were asked to do a disco version of Up, Up, and Away, which we didn't want to do. We said that wouldn't be true to the record. People come to hear our records. Would you do a real disco version of...
I did a slight disco version in London when I was doing Bubbling Round Sugar.
Ah,
I
that's
did. That's a kind of
bubbling round
yeah.
sugar. Yes, and New York. And you did that in London, didn't you?
London, never New York.
Never New York, but London.
All right.
I heard you did
London
great,
for a year.
great
yeah.
reviews.
Well, we won the Critics Award as the best musical in London.
Young London, it was
That's
great
good.
reviews. Yeah, I
Yeah, the
remember.
show, I ran it for a year. We made £1,240,000.
How wonderful.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
that's great.
Billy Daniels, they love you in England. They love you in Europe, matter of fact. You know,
Well, once you're a star, you know, I went to Europe from the Copacabana to play the Palladium.
Yeah.
When, you know, Danny Kaye was the big rage.
What's happening with our Copacabanas? Are there going to be any more, or what?
No, I don't know.
Everything is becoming film now, video, and
Videos.
just
Is
the whole entertainment scene is really changing. People aren't going out the way they used to anymore. People, they want to buy the cassettes and take them home.
And take them
Are there
home.
any clubs here? No.
In Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Clubs to work. You know something? I cannot.
I love
No,
the Kaiser
no, I cannot tell you. No, there aren't any. Not
I mean,
really.
clubs are like clubs.
Supper clubs.
It's higher,
no.
you know.
There aren't any supper clubs, Billy, no. There's a lot of clubs in the valley and just clubs.
More big theaters like the amphitheater.
Yeah,
and,
there aren't any clubs, nightclubs.
I'd like to play the Westwood ones.
Oh, isn't that a great place?
Yeah.
You know, you were talking about Bubbling Brown. The Fifth Dimension did Ain't Misbehavin'.
Oh, dear?
And I
Yes.
loved it. I loved the music of the time, the excitement
Uh-huh.
of it,
Fast Wallah,
the energy of
yeah.
it. And, I'd love to do it at a place like the
The one, the
Westwood
what?
Theater.
Did you
isn't
like
it
the Westwood
great?
Theater, do you really?
Oh, I loved
Yeah.
it.
Better
yes.
than the Beverly Theater on Wilshire? You think there's a the Beverly
I don't know.
Theater?
There's something I like about the
And
Westwood
the intimacy.
Theater. Yes,
the
the
intimacy at the Beverly, at the
Yes.
Westwood, yeah.
Tell me something. You're married.
That's right. Almost a year.
Really?
A year.
Congratulations,
A year, May
darling.
26th.
How many children?
I beg your pardon.
Tell me
I'm
something.
from the old school.
Billy, you didn't know this about this young lady. She helps a lot of children, battered children, right?
Right. I really.
Tell me about that, Florence. She really is a Florence Nightingale because she helps a lot of children, battered children. Tell me.
Well, I do have a teaching credential in elementary education, and when I was working for my credential, I did have the opportunity to work with a lot of children, some mentally disturbed boys. I taught art to them, but even through my travels with the Fifth Dimension, I've seen that there are a lot of battered children, not only physically battered, but mentally abused children, and not just from poor homes. And I became very interested because I also have a friend who was a battered child, and he introduced me to different organizations,
Yes.
and I got the Fifth Dimension to join me in supporting causes to help. And one thing I found is that the parents who abuse these children often love the children, but they have problems that they can't solve, so they take it out on
They
the
don't
children.
realize
Many
what they're
people say,
doing.
well, let's take these
Yeah.
kids away from these parents. They're no good. That's not always so. What I like to see is the parents educated and their problems solved, and to get the families together. To me, that's the ideal situation.
I had Christina Crawford on my show, and do you know her?
No, I
She's
don't
with the
know her.
battered children.
No.
She has an organization protecting for children, battered
The
children.
children are our future. I mean, I feel that there are two pieces in society that I feel are not supported in our country enough. That's education and the arts. Because the children are our future. And if our teachers are underpaid, if our teachers are not allowed to teach, I mean, you cannot be a pal to a child when you want to teach them something.
Yes,
you
yes.
cannot teach children properly when you have crowded classrooms, because there are different children
Yes.
with different needs.
Yes, yes.
You know, so
Yes.
I want to see smaller classrooms. I want to see better education for our children because they are our future.
Do you think we're getting it right now, Florence?
From what I've
Well, they're
seen,
not learning to read and write.
They're
that's
really
for
not.
sure,
The
yeah.
arithmetic.
in our effort to become more modern and to teach in the more modern ways, I really think we need to go back to the 3 R's. There is no excuse for a child, an adult, who has gone through school not being able to read when it's so simple.
Simple,
It's
yeah.
taught properly.
Married a year.
That's right.
Husband, Walt Disney Productions.
Right, his
Tell
name
me
is-
about that.
Well, I'm married to Errol Aubrey, and he's with Walt Disney Productions. And, so far, so good.
You're happy. She
So
looks happy,
far, so
doesn't she?
good.
Beaming, I
Hey,
would
tell
say.
me
If you
about
can just get used to being married to Miss LaRue, it's a
Miss
little
LaRue.
difficult.
Is it
you
difficult
know.
to be married to Miss LaRue? Tell me. Is it-
Well, no, when you're Mr. Aubrey, a very old-fashioned Mr. Aubrey, and you're introduced as Errol Aubrey and his wife Florence
Florence
LaRue, it's
LaRue.
still a little
It's-
hard,
yeah,
to accept. But
yeah.
I think he's
Billy,
getting used
is
to
he?
that.
Billy Daniels. Married?
Oh,
How many
yes,
years?
31 years.
Oh,
Same woman.
great.
Beautiful.
Wonderful woman.
That's
yeah.
great.
You have a wonderful daughter.
I have, we have
many
2
ch-
daughters.
you have 2
She
daughters?
and I, and I had 4 children.
4 children.
4 children.
Wonderful.
So we have 6. And she's the first grandmother. I have grandchildren, but her first one is 4. It'll be fourth Sunday. We're going to see him up in
How
Tahoe.
nice.
Okay,
Mother's-
1 year for me, 31 for you. Tell me your secret.
Yeah, it really does. Really, you know.
Hey, Sean.
What is your secret? You know, you look.
I always
looking
say,
at me.
yes, dear. Whatever.
Well, my husband won't do that. No, what else?
No,
You'll
looking.
learn.
I'm
You'll
looking.
learn. Only 10 months, you'll learn.
No, I'm telling. What is your secret by looking so young, Billy? You know, Florence, look at him. Billy Daniels.
Well, part of the
You know,
secret I
what is your
I
secret?
inherited. Part of that I inherited. My mother was 89, God bless her. My father was 91 when I lost him.
Ah, see, the genes. It's the good
Yes.
genes.
But I'm 70. I'll be 71.
71.
September
Look at that
12th.
skin.
Yeah.
My
That's
God, the
wonderful.
baby skin.
My mother's skin, really. Yeah. And I think my father's attitude, he was a teacher,
It's attitude, isn't
philosopher,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
and he said, never worry about anything you can't change.
Oh, that's so great, but so hard to do.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, me too, Florence. It's hard for me too,
And,
like that.
The only thing you can change if you try hard enough is yourself. And he drank a little bit, and you know, smoked cigars. And
Happy.
Happy.
Don DeLuise. Tell
Yeah.
me. That's another one I'm
Happy.
going to get. Happy.
Happy.
DeLuise. Don DeLuise. You did a thing with Don DeLuise.
That's right. I had a very small part in a film for television, which starred Dom DeLuise, called Happy. And it's an interesting story why I
Yeah.
did that. I have been really seriously trying to get involved in my acting career, but there's a stigma. Well, all of you singers want to be actresses,
Right.
so they don't know that I was an actress first.
They first. They don't. That's true.
Well, unfortunately, because of my involvement with the Fifth Dimension, I had to turn down several offers for very nice parts. When I got that offer, I was performing back east, and my manager said, look, we're going to show them that you really are serious about your acting career.
Yes, yes.
So we chartered a private jet to fly me back
And forth.
so that I could do the part and then go back to work. I think the jet cost more than I made during the movie, but I didn't care.
You didn't, but you enjoyed
It was a
it.
great
Really.
experience, yes.
Don DeLuise, he's fun, isn't he?
Yes, wonderful
Yeah, I
person.
like him, yeah.
Yeah.
But tell me about the putting on the Ritz. Ah, that's special. Is it putting on the Ritz?
Oh, putting on the hits?
That's hits. Yeah, hits. Putting
Right.
on the
Oh, that's a
Hits.
fun show. It's a
Yeah.
show where young people come in and lip sync to hit records.
Oh, is that you're
And I
hosting
was
that?
a-
Are you?
Right, I was a judge on the show.
Uh-huh,
It was a lot of talent. There's a lot
That's
of
hard,
talent
lip
out.
syncing.
Lip
Isn't it,
syncing?
though?
Lip syncing is
Oh,
hard.
it's hard for the person who has recorded the record,
Yeah.
and then for someone who wasn't there when it was done, it must be even
But
harder.
much as I've done black magic, my God, I can't lip sync to that.
You can't?
I don't sing it the same way all the time. I change it.
Yes, that would be
Because you're the
difficult.
original man, you know. But there are, you know,
Right.
Billy, you know.
I'm doing Bubbling Brown Sugar
You-
in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia?
June 21st.
Great. And where
12 weeks.
you're in Atlantic City now.
I finished it there.
You finished?
Yeah, I finished it there.
Tell me about Atlantic City. How's the show business there?
Atlantic
It's
City
hard.
is casinos, you know. And,
Yeah, right.
And of course, it's different than it used
Then
to
Vegas? Then Vegas is it?
Yeah.
East Coast is
Yeah.
better than. I think the East Coast would be more exciting than Vegas. I don't know why.
be. Well, Vegas has more room.
Also, Vegas was the
And
original.
then Vegas has space, you know.
Right.
But the audience-wise, I'm talking about, because you get the audience from New York.
Yeah, no,
See, you got the
You
hip
get
crowd.
5,000
Am I right?
buses a day.
I-
You're half a tank away from millions of people.
You know, you two people, I'm going to bring on a lovely, you know, I have a talent showcase in town at the Le Mandarin Hotel, and I present some acts there every Sunday and Monday, and I discovered a lovely girl. She's only 15 years old, and I predict she's going to be a very big star, and I would like you to meet her. I want her on the show with you two
Wonderful.
today,
Okay.
because she is just a lovely little lady, and her name is Wendy Bernard. Hi, Wendy. Come up here, honey. How's my girl? This is Florence
Wendy.
LaRue,
Nice to meet you.
Billy
What a
Daniels.
lovely little girl.
Isn't she
So
lovely?
you want to be in show business?
She
Don't
wants
do
to
it.
be in show business.
Get
And
married,
she-
have children.
No, well, no, I wouldn't know to go that far.
Wendy is only 15, and she sings. Oh, does she do? Oh, great.
How long have you been
great.
singing, Wendy?
Well, since I was about 5, I've really just always wanted to sing and run around the living room and put on the tapes and sing with the tapes.
Is that what you started with the tapes, huh?
Yeah, I listen to other singers and see what I like and imitate and get
Who's your
different
favorite?
feelings.
I want to know. Who's your favorite right now? Who do you feel that's?
Streisand.
That's it. She does a
That sort
lot
of answers my question about what type of singing,
singing.
you like.
Exactly, exactly. And she does. Yeah, she does.
I love the way she tells a story
Right.
and changes with music, bringing it up and bringing
Sure.
it down and all the emotion.
Did you see Yentl?
Oh, sure.
Wasn't that great?
Where are you
Beautiful
from,
music.
darling?
Originally from Sacramento.
Sacramento, California. Uh-huh. And how did you come to, to my showcase at the
Well, we
Imala
moved to
Madrid?
LA when I was about 9.
Uh-huh.
I was very excited, a Los Angeles film, and I figured this is where I'm going to be able to do things. And, I bugged my mom, let's take dancing, let's do, get the agent, do this, do that. And, she said no for a while. She wanted to make sure it was really what I wanted, and not just, oh, let's take dancing classes and, blah, blah.
Is that the right thing to do for a child, to prepare themselves?
Oh,
They
yes.
got to know what they want.
I'll
Am
tell
I right,
you,
Florence?
my mother supported me all the way in my desires. I took ballet.
Uh-huh.
I took singing and
Yes.
played violin for
Right,
9
right,
years.
right.
I did all of those things because
Yeah.
that's all. Well, that's all I ever really wanted to do.
She has determination. That's what
That's what it
go
is.
ahead.
She just wanted to make sure that's what I really, really wanted.
Uh-huh.
But even if you don't end up being a professional singer, that experience will help you in
Exactly.
whatever you want to do. It could be a hobby,
Right.
because you may change your mind after you
Right.
get in it and see the behind the
That's the behind the
scenes.
scenes, yes, right.
So I did. I got the agent, and I've just always wanted. I've always been so young for whatever I've wanted to do. I've gone and researched different theater programs during the summer, and I'll go, and I'll always find that they're too little kid things,
Right.
And when I found out about the showcase, I said, well, let's go and see. And now I've been going to different showcases around Los Angeles and performing.
I usually don't put 15-year-old girls
Right.
on my show, but she
But that's
just,
great, though, because that's the way I got started, entering these contests, because I was, and I still am, rather shy. But when you're on stage, I'm not Florence LaRue, I'm her, I can put away all of my inhibitions and be that person.
Right.
Yeah.
So some people are quite shocked when they come up to me later and I'm really not as, outgoing.
there aren't any nightclubs or places, so it's good for them to
Sure.
perform, even if it's a barn. I say
That's
it's a
right.
live
Right.
audience.
The
right.
more
Right. It's
experience you get,
terrific.
the better.
I mean, I'll go to one place and it'll be this little place, and you think, oh no, but once you start singing in front of the audience and the audience gets involved, and it really gets you going. So.
I want you to hear her right now. Let's
Oh.
run that tape of
great.
Wendy Bernard, okay? Billy, listen to this. Oh, you're going to love her. Wendy Bernard. Let's hear it.
That you've been dreaming of. If it leads you to a lonely place, then find your strength in
Ah, Wendy, that was wonderful, darling. Wasn't that
Thank
great,
you.
Billy?
Love
Hey, Billy Daniels, what can you say to this girl? I just like to know.
Keep singing. There's going to be a new star born every day. Really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, think of it. What's going to happen when
Florence?
Florence gets older? And
No, not older.
and
She's
I get older.
She will keep going until
I
she
predict
drops.
Florence is going to be a very fine actress. Are you studying acting, Florence?
Yes, I am.
You are. With whom are you
Yes,
studying?
with different people.
Different-
See, unfortunately, I'm not in one place
That's good.
a long
Yeah,
time.
so you
so
can-
in each city, I have different people
Wonderful.
that I study with to keep.
Because you're a very beautiful and talented young lady, and you really,
Thank
I think
you.
there's something out there for you, dear. Just have to wait. I think. So, what do you think about that, Billy?
Yeah.
It's the timing. What do you think? It's
Being
not
there.
being there and the timing,
Being
right?
there, you must be there.
Timing.
It's the timing.
Which means you must
Definitely.
sing at every opportunity, take every outlet,
Uh-huh.
and keep finding your way, and it'll make it.
But also, I would suggest to Wendy to also finish high school.
Finished,
You
yes.
know,
It's
I
very
really
important.
feel that an education is important, and also,
She
this
is
is show business. So, that is show and business.
Business.
Learn
Right.
something about the business,
Right.
so that you. you can
She's a
take care
pretty
of
bright
yourself.
young lady.
She
for
seems
she has an
like it,
attitude.
yes.
She has an attitude.
Yes.
Even on, you know, she sings those love songs. I can't believe it at my club. Those love songs. When I take her off, I said, "What does she know about love songs?" Unbelievable. You've got to hear her. 15-year-old
What do you
girl.
think encourages you or gives you your inspiration
Yeah.
to sing a love song at your age?
Oh,
Good, good.
well, first of all, my favorite songs are ballads.
Yes,
and I
me
love,
too.
I love, telling the story and really, but as far as, I mean, I'm 15, but I still know what I like, and I relate it to other things I know. I mean,
And I'm sure a 15-year-old has been in love, or
yeah,
or
sure.
you feel love of some kind, maybe not.
Right.
Florence, tell me, why do everybody love ballads? I mean, their favorite thing is ballad instead of a up-tempo.
Well,
I love
I think,
up-tempos.
unfortunately, part of it, I think, is ego, and someone with a good voice sometimes
Wants to
hear themselves.
Yes. Is
But
it-
now with me, I feel that I am more of a performer than a singer. I consider Barbara Streisand a singer.
Yeah, yeah.
But I am a performer,
Yes.
and I feel, I mean, to my toes,
Like him.
one less
Like-
bell.
like
so
this.
I like ballads because I like what they say, and it gives me time to
Express.
and to communicate to that audience exactly what I'm feeling, be it pain or whatever. But I like the up-tempo things too, because
Yeah.
then it gives me
Yeah.
a chance to let that other part come
Yes.
out.
And you, that body, darling. That body, honey.
What do you think
Daniels,
I'm thinking about when I said that old black man?
Billy Daniels. How many times do you think you've done
Down
that
and
number?
down.
I mean, really, how many thousands of
Oh, my
times?
God, I
Good
wouldn't know. I
God.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, in Canada, I saw you in Canada once. God, you were at a club called Shapery.
Chippery, yeah.
I mean, this is
sure.
like 30 years ago, Billy.
Sure, yeah.
25 years ago. Oh, I've been the road, darling. Show business a long time, dear. Billy Daniels is not the only one.
I bet you got some stories you could tell too, Skip.
I have some stories.
I want to read the
Out
book.
there.
You got to come to the club and see our showcase.
Yes,
I would love to invite you to.
Now tell us
they're
again where it is and when.
Sunday and Mondays at the La Mandarin. We're having a lot of fun, don't we? She's
I
there.
love it.
Are you enjoying it?
I go out and try my own songs there, and
You write also?
I write songs, yes.
Great. Do you have a pianist that you take
No,
with
we
you?
have a good
No.
piano player. His name is David Masco, and he's wonderful.
Really
David.
terrific.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Good.
Terrific.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, young people today really don't have to pay a lot of dues, do they?
What do you mean by paying a lot of dues?
I
Like-
think
Well, they
it's a lot easier today than, say, when Billy was coming along. I mean, he
Yeah.
even paved the way for me in the
Uh-huh.
Fifth Dimension, made it a lot easier for us.
Well, it's kind of hard because, I mean, I'm 15, so when I go to some place, a lot of times they'll think 15, oh God, And
But
when
darling, by the time you're 20, it will be.
It's just-
look
it's
at the
just-
experience you will have.
I'm getting a lot of experience. And each thing I do, though I may think at the time, God, why am I doing this? It's not what I want, but it's experience and I learn from it.
Sure.
So,
Tell me something, Florence, Star Search. I mean, what do you think about Star Search? I know you appeared on it. I know, but
No, I
tell
was a
me.
judge on Star
Okay,
Search,
I know
and
you
I
were.
think it's a wonderful showcase. We don't really have enough variety shows. I mean, I love
Don't you think we
doing
should have Ed Sullivan? Ed Sullivan!
that
Hey,
was
honey, I want to
great.
bring it back. I want to be the Ed Sullivan.
It was fabulous, but it was also live.
I did that
Yes,
show
I would like to do
100
it.
Another
times.
I
Ed.
would love
Yeah.
to do it. Love
Wasn't
to
it
do it.
I
great?
did it
Billy?
100 times.
Oh.
You've done it hundreds of times, haven't
Many
you?
times, sure.
The Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
That is,
So
that was...
I love Star
I think
Search.
Toady Fields, remember Toady Fields?
Of
She
course.
was- We
Toady
did it.
Fields?
We were on it every other week.
Uh-huh,
Yes,
uh-huh.
I am.